Hello, guys, and welcome to the next episode of Detox Show. And today we have one great international speaker all the way from London, Mr. Lukasz Zelezny. Am I pronouncing it right, Lukasz?
You are the best.
Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely.
Is perfect.
That's lovely. That's lovely. So before I begin with the interview and whatever talk we're gonna have, first of all, I want to tell to my audience that he's a great guy and a legend, you can say, in the field of social media marketing and the field of personal branding and all those things. So let us welcome Mr. Lukasz. So first of all, I request Lukasz to tell us about himself to my audience.
मेरा नाम लुकास है, आपसे मिलकर खुशी हुई. Yeah, my name is Lukasz. Yeah, trying my best. I'm Lukasz. Yeah, living in London for last 13 years. Born in Poland, long time ago. And now for last 5 years, I'm every year in India, in Gujarat, because of my wife, because of my mother-in-law, because of my brother-in-law. Last year, I was having a pleasure and honor and privilege to speak in Bangalore on this huge event organized by SEM Rush. Year before, I had opportunity to speak in Kerala. So yeah, I'm traveling a lot, and more often in India I am, more happy I am.
That's lovely. That's lovely. Great to know that your bond and togetherness with India and Indians out there. So before we begin, I want to tell to my audience that in fact we also met at Bangalore SEM Rush event, and I remember Craig is my very good friend, Mr. Craig Campbell, the SEO guy, and he told me about you, and then I came to know about you. I did some of the research. Basically, I was stalking you at all the social media platforms, and then I just fell in love with your profile. I mean, in love with the work you have been doing out there.
Yeah, Craig is a great guy, and I had almost opportunity to see him yesterday, 2 days ago in Glasgow. I was in Glasgow, but unfortunately we didn't catch up, but we are still in touch. So yeah, it was great to have him in Bangalore as well.
Yeah, exactly. So, and before I begin here, I remember in Bangalore what he told me, that when he told me that his wife is from India and many of his family members are from India, I was kind of a bit shocked. And when I met him, he greeted me with namaste, and I was really shocked to hear that from an English guy. So that really, attracted me towards you, and that's all.
I will tell you one anecdote. I was in Bangalore with my brother-in-law. He came from Vadodara and I came from London.
Okay.
We catch up, we had nice food, and then we went on the conference, and then we've been on the party. And we've been doing lots of Bhangra and singing lots of songs. People are kind of curious how I know all these songs. But the best part was some people came from Europe, came to my brother-in-law and asked him who you are, how you know each other, and he was like, I'm his brother-in-law, and everyone was like, yeah, but seriously. I was like, what do you mean? He's my brother-in-law. It means that I married his sister.
That's lovely. That's lovely. So Lukasz, if before I begin with more of the discussion, I have seen that you have created yourself a brand into many of the domains out there in the field of digital marketing. So according to you, being a beginner, if you want to guide any of the beginner, what are the top things that one should take care of before working on its own personal brand? Because I have seen you have been having many of the followers out there onto all of your social media handles, and I was going through your website. You have been speaking at a lot of the events, you have been traveling around the globe, and so what is the top 5 things you are gonna guide to a beginner like me also, because right now I am also working on my personal brand. So what are the top things that you're gonna guide to me and my audience?
It's a bit difficult to give recipe for a brand, personal brand, because everyone have own path. Yeah, but there is a couple of elements I would say are quite important. So the one element is you would need to stand from the crowd. And there is various ways you can do this. It can be through the way your clothes, like for example, for me it's a part of my branding, but also paying respect to you, for example, right now, having me, your audience, listen to us, and people who are coming for conferences, or when I see my client, I need to dress up. I would never see my client having a hoodie and the sporty shoes. So first element, paying this respect through the way how people look at you in the first place. Obviously, it's a very important not to go too far, because then you may start look a bit funny, a bit like a clone, and people will start thinking that this is that eccentric guy. So that's one thing. The second thing is, uh, to establish personal brand. That means that your personal brand is generating added value to your clients. One of the reasons is why you have a personal brand. And now to generate this added value, you need to be an expert in an area. And in online marketing, it can be SEO, it can be social media, it can be PPC, it can be affiliate. You mentioned Craig. Craig is fantastic expert in affiliate, for example.
Exactly.
Then I have Purna, who was on the conference with us in Bangalore. She's fantastic expert in PPC. Lots of people are thinking PPC. They think, oh, I'll need to contact Purna and ask for advices. So there is no way to, in my opinion, to establish a personal brand without having an expertise. If you would ask me, I'm working in SEO for over 15 years. So it was a long journey. It didn't came just like that one day I decided that I will wear a hat and I will go on the stage. It was a long process. And I'm quite grateful to God that, it didn't I didn't get this too early, because we all maturing. Yeah, older people are like a good wine. Older, or a whiskey, older than better. If I can say like that, I hope no one is offended.
No.
But older you are, more experience you have, and if you are clever enough to base on this experience, then people start to look at you as someone who is not only authority and expert, but also someone who can come and generate added value. I had a fantastic meeting 2 days ago in Amsterdam with one of my clients. What a great meeting. And having a one day workshop is a very challenging thing. You need to prepare 130, 150 slides. And this is very stressful sometimes, because for me, even after so many years, it's never just like that, but I could feel great. I could feel lots of support, lots of excitement from these people. And then at the end of the day, I could say, like, I done something good. So being an expert is the second thing, aside of standing outside from the crowd. Then the third thing is, like, we're living in this digital world, finding an opportunity to promote. When you wrote to me that you would like to have me in your show, I was like, I've been honored. And so many people across India, and not only across India, is listening to you. So if I can give them a little advices, that really a big honor for me. But also, it is kind of opportunity for me to say hello to your audience, and say, like, if you have any questions, you know where to find me. I'm on LinkedIn, Twitter, and so on. So that would be the third thing. The fourth thing is, obviously, you need to have presence in social media, and potentially you need to have a website.
That is a very important thing. Yeah.
Exactly. And for me personally, LinkedIn is pretty much everything. I have Facebook, I have Twitter, I have Instagram, but LinkedIn is a holy grail, is a creme de la creme of social media. So that's the fourth one. And the fifth one is just be yourself. Try not to copy.
That is the most important thing. I mean, people just try to copy others. If I today
Exactly.
try to be like Lucas, I'm wearing hat, I'm wearing that attire, so I cannot be Lucas. Lucas has his own personality. I am having my own personality.
Exactly.
So we cannot mix up all of the things. Yeah, I can learn some of the things from you. I can learn some of the skills, some of the expertise from you. I can have you as my mentor. You can guide me all the things, but I cannot be you. I have to be
Exactly.
That is
Exactly.
that is what
This
you
is
mean.
a misunderstanding of all these books like people are reading. They sometimes, and quite often, I would say, they reading book of someone like Steve Jobs, for example, and
Hmm.
they consciously thinking that they will be another Steve Jobs. What does it mean to be another Steve Jobs? There was only one Steve Jobs, and Steve Jobs was Steve Jobs because he was a brilliant mind, but also because of lots of different circumstances that happened in the universe. That he was in the right time with the right concept, right product. He met right people like Steve Wozniak, and many other things that you are. It's impossible to make this element once again in the same configuration and say like, yeah, now I'm another Steve Jobs.
So, Lucas, I was about to touch this topic of social media marketing, and you yourself mentioned in one of your point regarding the LinkedIn, that work on LinkedIn as much as you can. So, what I have observed is people have the different kind of behavior on different social media platforms. Suppose if I talk about Instagram, people out there on Instagram are showing the behavior of just fun and entertainment, and just sharing the content in a more entertaining way. And if I talk about the Facebook, people are trying to be the as much original they can be on Facebook. But if I talk about LinkedIn, people are seems to be looking more professional and showing themselves as more professional. So according to you, being a marketer or being an influencer, how should you differentiate on all these platform, and how should your behavior, your feelings, your expression should get changed or get modified as per the behavior of every each and every platform? This is a
Absolutely.
this is a question that have been arising in my mind, because in my I believe in my initial days, what I used to do was I just used to be neutral on every platform. I mean, I was having the same behavior on every platform. Sometimes I used to be very much professional. Sometimes I used to be very much, a kind of a fun guy. Affected me a lot in my initial days. So according to you, what is the best strategy you would give to me and my audience?
So let me start from LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, generally your wall is a lead magnet. Your timeline. Yeah, that's your magnet for leads. And me personally, as a marketeer, I am religiously never approaching with outbound. I'm never writing to anybody a message like, "Hey, thank you for adding me. Are you looking for a consultant for someone who will help you with SEO?" And there is one logical reason why. I'm not a sales guy. I'm a marketeer. If I cannot market myself
Mm-hmm.
and I need to approach with an outbound, that means that I'm crappy marketeer. But
Exactly.
thankfully, I have enough inbounds that are coming through LinkedIn, and not only through LinkedIn but also through my website. And that is first step to prove that you are a real marketeer who know how it works, because you can implement this on your brand, on yourself, on your business. Now, if you ask me about Facebook generally, I think the best of Facebook about SEO, for example, and these groups are giving me ability to sometimes catch things faster than if I would be following Twitter or reading newspapers. Yeah, because someone saw something on Twitter and is posting this, and then you can click and see, and so on and so on and so on. Instagram, that's our stories for me, and pretty much that's it, because I sometimes feel like if you really want to be successful, to be on Instagram, in many cases you can see that there are like pretty models, or dancers, or people who are
Exactly.
doing some shows. I'm neither dancer, neither model, and I'm not pretty, so I don't fall into this category. I have Instagram, yeah.
Okay. So, well, I was going through a website, and I just noticed one thing, that you talk about, most of the time you talk about ROI, that is return on investment. But sometimes
Mhm.
people do get confused with this term, as what is the last, result of the return of investment. Either, I suppose, if I'm having client, okay, and he has invested $1,000. I'm taking rough figure, $1,000 he has invested, and it is up to me that how I need to spend that money onto different platform. I can go with the organic marketing, I can go with the paid marketing. That is totally up to me. So sometimes I, being an agency owner, I can take the return on investment as I have given, for example, 100 number of leads to my client. Okay, I have given 100 number of leads to my client, and my client is not able to, convert those leads. And now I have that concern, that why is my client not able to convert? Because at last, what the clients today think is, they and they are putting their 100%. Might be there's some, error or some of the wrong targeting being done by the marketer to whom I have hired.
Mhm.
So clash between both of them occurs, and return on investment gets affected. From my end, I believe that I have the great return on investment. I have given this much number of leads, but end result, that is my client's business to grow. That is the true return on investment. So people sometimes do get confused between these two factors and these two situations. According to you, what you gonna guide to people regarding this?
Tika. So,
Oh, lovely.
cha, cha,
I'm
cha.
telling you, I'm in love
So,
with you.
yeah. So, look, when I'm starting working, back in the day, I didn't like to work with e-commerce website. I don't know why. But now I love working with e-commerce websites. And the first thing, the most important thing is a proper tracking. Most
Exactly.
most likely you have most of the clients is either on WooCommerce, Magento, Shopify, and the rest is like maybe 10%. Yeah, these three are dominant one. I don't know
Mhm.
how it is in India, but at least I'm referring to my customers. My customers are either on WooCommerce or on Magento.
Okay.
Um, and it's pretty simple to set up on Google Analytics tracking. So you have one step done. Most of the time, clients who are coming to you are not like completely new stores, so there is some data. And now the most important is to start digging this data. And I am the first thing I'm doing it is I'm asking customers to install Keyword Hero. That way, we can see data from Search Console projected in analytics, and we can, to some point, quite accurately track traffic, not only organic traffic per URLs, but also per keywords. Once you have this, you can not only start thinking about how to leverage traffic, but also how to leverage traffic from the specific keywords that historically been performing very well. And
Mhm.
that's another step. Then the next step is that I'm always trying to make sure that I have a proper reporting, either through Data Studio or through Google Sheets. So my client can every time go there and take a look how his shop is performing. And um, imagine right now that you have a shop that naturally is growing with the revenue 20% from organic revenue, 20% year over year. What I mean year over year, January 2020 versus January 2019, February 2020 versus February 2019. And this is very important to remember because very often the performance is affected by seasonality. If you have you may not know because you're living in India, so winter tires are rare. But in Norway or in Poland or in Austria, people are buying winter tires because it's winter, it's snow, and there are different tires for snow,
Mhm.
different for like non-snow.
Mhm.
And it's natural that the spike is coming before winter and during the winter, and that's it. And then the rest of the year you have really, really flat. It's
Mhm.
natural when you're dealing with if you are comparing prices of iPhone, the spike will be when Apple is releasing new headset, and this is probably around September. So you know when you're trying to forecast performance of the store and you're talking to your customer, you need to take on the board the current performance. Often shops are performing naturally. Let's say they are delivering 20% growth. So claiming that you will be delivering 20% growth, that is no added value. You need to say like, listen, in 3 months, we will start delivering on top of that what you have growth, we will start delivering additional 15% growth. We will do this because of A, B, C, and D. Simple, without any like technical details. If clients really want to jump into details, fair enough. But going into like things related to canonical tags and HT access and all that stuff, that will only make confusion. If shop is underperforming, then obviously you will not come to client and say like I will make you rich in 3 months. You just need to fix what is broken, and from the client perspective, with clients, it's also important that client, and I bet that lots of people who are potential clients are listening to us right now. SEO is not someone who will make you rich. It's not like you can come and say like, listen, here is money, make me rich. Make this performing. Sometimes you have situations like you have a Formula One racing, yeah, and someone came on this Formula One racing to chase other guys, but except of having like a bolide, he got like a bike, or a bicycle. And you will not be able. That's our people who frequently are coming and saying like, listen, I have a great store and I just launched this and I really need to be above Amazon. And like this is the moment like you as an expert should start educating and talking about niche, about long tail, about how to gather authority, and so on and so on and so on.
Exactly. And before I move further, I just want to compliment you that your red hat is looking lovely. And and I want to ask one thing, that what made you wear this type of attire? I mean, do you have any past experiences, or it is just by yourself you just grab this habit?
I was working back in the day in an American company, HomeAway, right now part of Expedia, and they had like a really, really nice process of reporting. And this is exactly what I said on the beginning. The life path is a journey when we're learning every day. That was amazing. 1 year I was there and I learned a lot. We were using Tableau. There was no data studio those days, and it was fascinating. And the setup also was really cool because we had one SEO analyst who was doing all the reporting across different brands, because they had like brands in France, brands in UK, in US, and SEO managers or head of SEOs were only dealing with an SEO per se. So we're not faffing with, sending emails with report and so on and so on. That was once a week call, how we doing, what needs to be done better, and guys, carry on, So it was fascinating. And also the winter tire, I said this example because many years ago I had a presentation when I was comparing non-seasonal spikes with seasonal spikes. And those days I was saying that winter tire, if you look on the Google Trends, every year there is a spike. But iPhone, those days was really unseasonal because Apple was releasing randomly during the year new model. So you couldn't start thinking about year over year and so on and so on.
Oh, that's lovely. So, Lucas, what I have seen is, when I met you personally also, you told me one thing regarding that you travel a lot, and I have seen on your website also that you have been busy onto your speaking events, and just now that you handle multiple clients also. So how do you manage all of these things? Just a one person and lots of work on your head. So how you have been dealing with all of this stuff?
Well, so there is two people. One is me and one is my wife. My wife helps me a lot God bless her, with lots of stuff like admin stuff, and she's also handling paid advertising. So
Okay.
whoever needs paid advertising, she's an expert and she's dealing with that. Now, regarding to my travel and regarding my clients, I will tell you one thing, and I need to tell this to everybody who is listening to us. It may look fun from outside, but it's a very, very hard work. So
I
there
can
are days,
understand. I mean, I can understand.
yeah, there are days that I'm sleeping 2 hours and I'm just barely walking because it's so busy. Today was a very nice day because there was not that many calls, but normally I'm waking up 7 a.m. and from 7 a.m., as you can see me here in this room, I have calls until 6 p.m. Very often like that. Sometimes this door which are there are opening. That's my wife is bringing me like lunch or some juice or something. Yeah. Sometimes I don't even have a time just to go for a little short walk because I have call by call, and partly I'm grateful, but obviously I need to say that this is maybe not for everybody because you need to work 3 times more hard than if you would be in-house. I remember those days, I was like, where are these days when you've been in-house and you could stand up from your computer, go to the cafe, have a coffee, croissant, have a little chit chat with your friends. And here it's like, like, come on, quicker, more calls. It's very busy, but also very exciting, and it's very beneficial.
Mhm. That's lovely. So, Lucas, as you have shared many of the insights, I'm quite impressed from the details, from the you have touched every small detail of the things I have asked you. I mean, regarding the personal branding, regarding the handling clients, regarding the social media marketing, the way you have told me regarding how to work on different of the platforms. I mean, that was really lovely. That was really lovely, and my audience is gonna really love you. So one thing I want to ask, do you have any sort of training also? I mean, if someone wants to get any of the training in any of the domain, so do you provide personal mentoring also, any training also?
Yeah, so on my website, which also makes me a little proud because it's a cool domain, SEO.London, there is,
SEO.London. That's lovely.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
lovely. I mean, you did a great game.
yeah, that domain I bought, it wasn't registered, but it was premium, so it cost a little. But yeah, I'm just a fan of domains. I also have a socialmedia.pl, couple of cool domains, I believe. It's easy to remember. But like I have a couple of ways. One way, there is this on SEO.London on the main website. There is this button which is called an emergency SEO, and if someone have like a very urgent situation, that really need to talk. I don't know, penalty happened, sudden drop, or tomorrow they are redirecting whole website because they are merging websites or they changing domain, and they have a plan, but they still feel a little shaky that maybe something may go wrong, would like to talk about, then I am there available pretty much 24 hours. There is a button. It's integrated with my calendar. There is a little fee as well, obviously, but if I have someone from Singapore or Argentina, which is -8 or 12 hours and plus minus plus 12 hours, and here is like 5 a.m. or 3 a.m. I don't care. I am available. When I was last month in Los Angeles, I had a call with my customer, and they've been like, "Oh my gosh, Lucas, it's so late there. It's probably your last call." I was like, "No, that's actually my first call." So yeah, I had like calls from 11 p.m. until 7 a.m. And I was sleeping from 4 or 5 p.m. till 11 p.m. So all my watches in the hotel room where I was working were in the UK time zone. Can you imagine this? My dad was calling me. He was like, "What time is there?" I was like, "I don't know. I can tell you that it's like 3 p.m. in UK, but I don't know if it's a daylight or nightlight." Thankfully, I had a little of time to go around LA and then San Diego. That was with people from Wix.com. We had like 2 workshops. It was great. But, I'm very devoted for my clients. I'm not the guy who will say like, oh, this week we will not have meetings because I'm going somewhere. If client cannot do, fair enough. I understand that. But I'm for my clients pretty much 24 hours a day. And you know, what I love, it is when I'm going to India actually, because India is ahead of Europe. So when I'm waking up at 9 o'clock, I can have my aloo paratha. I can have Indian chai. I can go to my favorite restaurant if I want. And then 2 p.m. or 1 p.m. is morning in UK. And I'm starting my work. And then I'm working the same way. Like you know, my mother-in-law have a nice room for me, and I'm working, and then there is 9 p.m. I'm finishing, or 9:30, and very often, you know, we are going with my brother-in-law to Ratri Bazaar. Whoever is from Vadodara then knows it's an amazing place, you know, for a kulfi or something like that, and you know, and it's great. So India is ahead, but when you are in US and you have call, you are always late. You're waking up at 9, and here in Europe it's already like mid of the day. And it's like, oh my gosh, you know. So yeah, it's a funny aspect of being a remote consultant. Or you know.
I mean, that's lovely. And just now you told that how much busy you are and you have a very tight schedule. And besides that, you gave your precious time and you were available. I mean, the interview was scheduled for next week, but I have got some crazy things up in my mind. So I just asked you that, Lucas, am I allowed or are you available for before 8? So you just told we can do it today. And I was like shocked. Oh, come on. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm really grateful to you. I mean, besides,
my pleasure. You've been partly lucky because, like I told you, Monday wasn't that busy. I had like window there, so I was like, "Yeah, let's do this today." Because tomorrow it would be like after 12 calls or something. I would be like probably like, "Yeah, well, you know." And today is much better.
oh, lovely. Because on 8th there's Choti Holi in our India, and 9th there's Holi. So
I see.
yeah, I was having also some of the plans. So I thought I mean when the last time I got scheduled with meeting with you, I didn't remember. I forgot that there's Holi, and that is also a big reason I told you to, we can do it a bit earlier. So really,
Absolutely, absolutely.
you.
And you know, like I told you, like India is very much in my heart, very important. You know. Uh,
So would you be
and
playing Holi in London this time?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we are normally celebrating everything, and you know, uh, what can I say? It's exciting. It's exciting because you know, um, you can discover new things, and it's always
Mhm.
nice to spend time together. And also like last that was December or January, there was this kite festival. We were there on the in Vadodara, looking at that. It's fascinating, you know. It's really cool.
Lovely. So, Lucas, see, I have many of the people in my community who know me, and I've been in touch with many of the people. I mean, around the globe, and in India also, I have a great presence with many of the people. So, before I, end up this meeting, what is the one message and what is the one sort of a small motivation you want to give to me and my audience out there so they can learn something from you and can upgrade their skills? What is that one message you want to give to me and my audience?
Okay, I'm always saying, if you are or you're planning to be in the online marketing industry, that in my opinion you will be in the most exciting industry that could ever happen through the history of earth, you know. This is absolutely fantastic. You know, so if you have some doubts, forget about this. Take the first step. You know, even if you would need to start your career from scratch, it's never too late. Just go for it. You know, I will tell you, like, part of my family, like cousins and friends, are working in online marketing because of I influence. I was like, man, you can do this. You can do PPC. Man, you can do affiliate. You can start doing SEO. And right now, I'm also looking on the people who started working in my team many years ago. Right now, they are like head of SEOs, SEO directors, and this is so exciting to see how these people are progressing every year or two, seeing that they are changing a role on LinkedIn. So yeah, online marketing is probably the most exciting thing right now to work for, and I have difficulty to imagine if there is anything more exciting than online marketing.
Exactly, lovely. And
I hope that will motivate everybody.
yeah, lovely. I mean, everyone is gonna get motivated with your kind words. And one thing I wanna say that India is the next huge market.
Oh, you don't need to tell me this. I can see every year. I'm telling this to everybody. I need to tell between me and you, between me and you and the 640,000 people who follows you, I have an OCI status in that makes me very excited because start business, working, don't need visa and so on. It feels like home, but it's absolutely right. I can see every year how India is changing, and considering the number of people living in India, how ambitious people from India are, and also how open and English fluent speakers, and how also diverse India is. It's like extremely high opportunity, and I think lots of people now or sooner or later will be moving their starting businesses. And right now, when is this boom, after 20 years from now, they'll be saying like, I just moved in 2020 when it started, because where it end up, it probably will be like another Singapore in many places, another Hong Kong, a very, very powerful tech hubs across.
I mean, we do have many of the tech hubs. I mean, we have Noida, we have Gurgaon, we have Bangalore.
Yeah, I know Bangalore as well, Hyderabad, but
Exactly.
I'm saying that it will be even more of them.
Yeah. There's
I had a
there's lots more opportunity and lots more scope out here.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's a great time right now.
And thank you so much, Lucas, for being over here with me. And before I go and wrap up this session and this interview, just want to say one thing. Thank you again. A big thank you, and love to you. And we'll see in future also if we guys can connect like this. And one thing more, in fact, I am also running my own digital agency. I have a team of 5, and so I want you to meet with my team also in future, if there's possible. I mean, if you should get a time out of your tight schedule. So
no problem.
we guys,
I will always find time for India and my Indian friends.
Absolutely. lovely.
And as you know, I will be in India every year, and I am in India every year. So that would be very exciting.
Lovely. Okay, so
look, let me also say, first of all, shukriya, dhanyavad, and if anyone wants to have a contact, I hope you don't mind if I will remind them SEO.London, and you can find me on LinkedIn. And
what you can do, you can just give me all your social media handles and your website you want to give. I will put up all of the links into the description, and people can just contact you. And in fact, I will also give into the I button of the YouTube video, so people
Super.
can
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you very much, and hope next time we will see in the real life in Delhi.
Yeah, definitely. We'll definitely catch up in Delhi soon. Yeah.
Fantastic. So thank you very much, and
thanks,
lots of greetings for your audience.
Okay, so now